that you are the one.
And welcome to Transition Point, a show that has been designed with you in mind, cutting across the red tape and bringing the skills that you need to succeed. We reduce the clutter and the noise in your life, leaving success as a clear target for you to achieve. I'm your host, Dr. Jeff Kaluyu. Let's go to work. Tonight, the studio is boiling. Like last time, before I even go very far for those who are joining us right now, this is WOL 1450. This is Transition Point with Dr. Jeff, and we are here every Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m. If you want to call for questions, we are here to answer your questions because tonight it's a big show. We have special guests, I promised last week. Your number to call is 800-450-7876. Again, it's 800-450-7876. Again, this is Transition Point. I'm Dr. Jeff. Tonight, let me even get you the rundown, because last week we had a big show. We had Esther Liana Shaw. She released a great show, gospel singer from Kenya, Nairobi. She released her greatest song, Turning Around. And I'm telling you, I will be tempted time to time, to kind of play it in here. And a lot of people called. We really thank them, and we thank Esther Liana as well. At the same time, the last couple of weeks, I've been talking about tonight in the studio, that is Constance Moonzwe and Jason. These professionals we have been talking about, they will be talking about the impact of social media in your career. My goodness, everyone is on social media. You are in Twitter, you are on LinkedIn, you are on Facebook, Instagram, and everywhere else. But those things, all those platforms, they have some meaning in your career. So we're going to be talking about what that all means to you and what you can do, how it can be, cleared up and lead you in the right direction. I told you, I take it to the field. I don't get scared. I take it to the field and leave it over there. This is yours for the asking. You ask for the topics. I go to my drjeffspeaking.com, and that's where you put your comments and you tell me what you want. Yours for the asking. I bring it to you as you want it. Now, before we get to that, before we get to Constance Moonzwe and a fellow guest here, Jason, who are like really specialists in this area of social media and other things. Also, you got to stay tuned because we're going to be getting to know some jobs. I am very practical, as you know that. You have always known me as a practical guy. We're going to be talking about jobs. We're going to be talking about careers, some practical jobs that are available for you. If we talk about jobs, we get to know where you can get them, how you can be able to be, to talk to the hiring, professionals. And I can't even let the cat out of the bag because you know what? They're going to tell it all for us. But we're going to talk a little politics because who isn't talking about politics now? My goodness. The pot is hot, is cooking, and just as our in studios, like I told you, ladies and gentlemen, we are boiling up here, and we're just getting started. Trump is the presumptive nominee, you know that, of the Republican Party. And now we have a clear measure. We have really now gotten the clear nominee, presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party, that is Hillary Clinton, and it is on. So, before we even go far, what is going on with Trump? You feel free to call 800-450-7876. You can give your opinion. You say it as it is. This is United States. You're choosing the leader of the world. And that leader is going to need to be chosen carefully. And I am not here to take sides. I can say it one way or the other. If you choose Trump, you choose Trump. If you choose Hillary Clinton, you choose Hillary Clinton. Who am I to say no? Because when American people speak, they speak. And I have there is no more than that. If you want to call and ask questions or give your opinion or state any concern, you feel free to call 800-450-7876. Again, it's 800-450-7876. Again, welcome to Transition Point. Now, if you want your topic for next week or the week after, you can go always to drjeffspeaking.com. Again, it's drjeffspeaking.com. And you can give me your opinion, what you like to see in future. You said you want to talk about careers. You want to talk about social media. I brought it to you. And I'm telling you, it's going to be hard. We're going to tell you to be telling it all. So next week, before we go to Constance Moonzwe, next week, we're going to have a big guest, another one, Tommy Bennett. Tommy Bennett, you have seen him in Oprah Show, and is your boy from Washington, D.C., born and raised. He has worked for many people, President Obama campaigns, working for Clinton campaigns, worked for Reverend Jesse Jackson in Chicago as well. So he tells his story through laughter. He's a very funny guy. Whenever I talk to him, I laugh all the way. He's going to be talking about diversity, success in the face of diversity, bullying in school, and if you're diverse, how you protect yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, brace up. Brace up. It's all coming in here at WOL 1450 in Transition Point with Dr. Jeff. So, without wasting time, I'm going to take time to welcome my two special guests. That is Jason Rodden. Jason Rodden. I'm going to let him even, introduce himself. So, Jason, welcome to our studios.
Thanks for having me, Dr. Jeff.
You are welcome. We sizzle it here, and I am telling you, we're going to be pushing you to the limit. That's what we do here. And we also have in our show, Miss Constance Moonzwe. She is constant. I am telling you, when she promises, she delivers. Welcome to our studios, Miss Constance Moonzwe.
Thank you, Dr. Jeff. It's a pleasure to be here.
Wonderful, wonderful. I'll tell you something. These two guests are from California. California, one of them is from Washington, D.C. area, but Constant, she flew all the way from Los Angeles, California. I'm sure there's a city. She's going to tell us what it is, and she's going to tell us what she's doing in our hood, in our neighborhood. Why is she coming here to Washington, D.C.? You're going to love it because it's interesting. Now, before we go very far, I will draw the first blood. Jason, you are on. I'm going to ask you, what do you do? And how did you start doing what you do? Tell my listeners what you do.
So, Dr. Jeff, I'm a software engineer.
Software engineer? You are scaring me, but go on now.
Yes, I work on business softwares, and I've been doing a number of jobs in projects around the country. I've worked for clients like Boeing, Schlumberger Oil and Gas, and now I'm working for a client out of Atlanta, Norfolk Southern, a railroad company.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this kind of scares me. Not really scares me. It encourages me. It kind of tells me. You can succeed in the face of challenge. They talk about there are no jobs. They talk about diversity in jobs, and we have a young man. Here, Jason, he has been able to be a software engineer, and as a matter of fact, I'm going to be asking him a tough question as we come in. But when you have what it takes, you actually have people run after you. It looks like he chooses the jobs. He's in Norfolk. He's talking about Atlanta, traveling everywhere. I'm jealous, but you know what? You can have it. You deserve it. How did you become a software engineer? Where did you go to school? Did you go to school in the U.S.? What is going on? Tell it all.
So I was born in Jamaica, and I started my career there, started my studies there. I went to the University of the West Indies in Jamaica. Then I did my grad program at the University of Liverpool in the UK.
My goodness! Jamaicans, they all in the United States, because we have a lot of diaspora of the Jamaicans. I'm sure they are proud. One of your own, a gentleman who is successful, he went and learned his tools or trade in Jamaica, and now they look for him in West Indies and UK. I'm sure your people in UK, they're having fun, because remember, this show is international in a way. You can log on online on Saturday 1 to 2 p.m. and just go along live with us here. So I'm hoping in England they are able, because I'm attracting attention from across the world. So I'm hoping the diaspora in England as well, they are listening to you. So that is a great milestone. Congratulations to become a software engineer. What kind of career do you have to start off with? Do you go to school for some specific certification and licensing? What do you do? How do you become that?
So, becoming a software engineer, first of all, there is a wide field, and one would need to understand the field that is. If you can be totally technical, or you want to be a business software engineer, where you more translate from the technical information to the business, or you translate from the business to the technical. So for me, I took the road from the business side first, and then I did my software. My degree program was as a IT professional. Then I moved ahead and I did logistics. So I specialize to logistics software. So right now I only do logistics softwares.
My goodness, I am leaving it there because it's in the field, ladies and gentlemen. I am telling you, that is very impressive young man we have in the studio. But you know what? We have Constance Moonzwe. You know what? Another executive in human resources. Constance, tell us your background. You started. I know you're from California, Los Angeles. Did you start your career? How did you become a human resources career? Professional.
Well, originally I'm from Zambia, Central Africa. I've been in the United States for about 24 years now. Time has gone by.
You look
so quickly.
No, that's 24 years.
Yes.
It passes very quickly.
Very quickly, but coming to America, obviously there are a lot of wonderful opportunities. And so as I did my undergrad at Cal Poly University in California, and I majored in human resources. I went on and got my master's in healthcare administration, which is my area of focus in career. And so I got that from the University of Laverne as well, which is in California. So I've been in the human resource space for about 17 years now in all areas of human resources, whether it's recruitment, compliance. I find that those avenues allow me to empower the most amount of people. And that's, I'm really passionate about seeing people's lives transform through jobs.
My goodness, I am getting excited here. I'm getting excited because, I promised I always bring things that make a difference in your lives. I'm practical. I'm not here just to take theories. And those who know me very well, all my students who are listening, we have been together as a university campus dean, as a professor, and those who worked in Wall Street. I'm a very practical person. Constance, I have worked with Constance for a while. As a matter of fact, I have, before as a university dean, I have invited her to my university, to campus, to be able to talk about jobs, and we have been able to lead students in that area to actually bring jobs, because we're going to be talking about this. That's my favorite part, because I want to, every Saturday, every time you're on transition point, I want you to be able to take something home. May it be transformation. May it be actual job. May it be an advice of how you are going to start a good career. We want to change lives. My job in Washington, D.C. metro area is changing lives, one life at a time. Constant. I'm on you. I'm on your case. I'm on your trail now. So, Constant, from Zambia. And now you are human resources. You spend a lot of time, and you're successful. Congratulations for that wonderful, career path and staying on focus. Now, tell us what organization you work for. And I'm feeling like, sometimes I'm tempted to say, but I'm not. Go ahead, tell us who you work for and how you started working for that organization.
Okay. Well, I'm the president of ITH Staffing. ITH Staffing is a national staffing firm, so we represent all 50 states. We represent some of the most prestigious healthcare organizations in the country, including organizations that you're familiar with, like Kaiser, the Tenet Healthcare Groups, the Providence Group. So we definitely represent the mecca of, healthcare organizations. Our mission is really simple. We hire and place individuals from the janitor to the CEO and everything in between. So it's not only, oftentimes when people think about healthcare, they think about a nurse, but we staff every single aspect of a healthcare organization, from the office clerk or that accountant or biller to the CEO, the nurses, the doctors, and everything in between.
My goodness, there you have it. I am telling you, because she is well-spoken. I have worked with Constance because my endorsement, I do not just endorse anyone. You know that. My students, my professors who I've worked with, and everyone else. I am very specific. When I bring a guest, I know what they can deliver. I know who they are. Well-spoken, a chief executive officer, has been human resources for 17 years. And she represents the 50 states, particularly in healthcare. And I am feeling almost biased. The reason I am a healthcare professional, when I went to medical school, I did, urban health policy and research, and I've been teaching healthcare services administration from bachelor's and master's, and that was always a special part of my life, because in healthcare you actually change people's lives. May it be that you are secretary or you are an administrator, you are actually making patients change lives. You are actually creating situations that affect actual people's lives, and the need is here and now. There's always a fierce urgency of now when it comes to healthcare. And 50 states, we're going to be talking about that, and we're talking of someone who actually provides the jobs. And I'm going to pack that topic just a little bit, because I need even 20 hours for this. I'm always happy to see Constance. We are actually we're going to be talking about organizations that we have networked together, and we have had a lot of work to do together that moves forward. But I'll go to draw some more blood from Mr. Jason. Jason, we're going to be talking, and actually this one I'm going to throw it in the air for anyone, and feel free, Constance, Jason, to come through. Tonight's main topic was the impact of social media in your career. And ladies and gentlemen, we have a career person. We have, and we're going to be taking all the websites. Before we finish, we're going to have all the contacts, ladies and gentlemen, because this is real. If you're trying to turn that dial, just leave it where it is. If you blink, you miss it. And you maybe have just, left or lost some information that could have helped you for the rest of your life and change your career. Now, when it comes to social media, my goodness, everybody today is on WhatsApp, is on Facebook, is on Twitter, is on LinkedIn. I asked a friend of mine the other day, "Are you on Twitter?" He said, "I'm tweeting like a bird. I'm tweeting like a bird." And I was like, it's time for me to start tweeting. And then he went on and said something like, if it is not in Twitter immediately, it's not useful. You can't tweet tomorrow. So I said, I'll be tweeting before I go to the studio. Jason or Constance, is there any specific, does social media, the big question before I funnel it down, is there an impact of social media in our career? Is it good? Is it bad?
You know what people don't realize is that 80% of all recruiters use social media as a first recruiting tool.
Wow, 80%? Couldn't you just put a lower number, like 40%?
No, it's huge. It's significant.
So most of the recruiters,
they use one aspect, whether it's LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter, as a way to do a soft background check.
Wow.
The individuals before they even consider bringing them in. It's pretty significant.
Oh my goodness. For those who are kind of complaining out there, they are not getting a job, they have good credentials, and you're on Twitter. I don't even know what we're going to say, because I'm going to leave you trail on this. This is very important for me today. I want to know if you are, and we're going to attack specifically, and I'm going to throw this to Jason. Let's start with, let's say, Twitter. Okay. What are some of the things, first of all, let's do this very quickly, because I don't just want to say it is good or bad. How do we get to Twitter? How do you become a Twitter member?
Well, you need to sign up. That's the first thing.
You go to Twitter and sign up an account?
Yes, you need to register yourself for Twitter and for any one of the social media networks.
So you just go and you put that name and you get a Twitter account. Now, immediately after that, what are some of the conditions of starting to tweet? Do you tweet a whole paragraph, or what do you tweet?
There are certain limitation in terms of word count and controls on what things you tweet. But for professionals, not just the amount of words you tweet, the quality of what you tweet.
I like that. Not the amount of words, and I think how many characters you have to tweet. You can tweet 140.
140 or 150, I think it is.
Okay, so 140, you have to tweet a limited number, and it is not really, he's saying that when you're tweeting, it's not really the amount of tweets. Someone realized on Twitter that, first of all, if you give people an opportunity, they're gonna say everything from beginning to the end, and that happens on my phone. In fact, sometimes it's full for a week before I clear it up, because even giving people unlimited space, they just start telling you stuff, the color of the roof and the number of stairs, the number of, even in Africa, everybody is, tweeting, and they tell you the number of cars. So, but the character limitation kind of builds you to the point and in a quality way. Are there things we should be worried about in the Twitter? Are there things you think we should tweet or we should not tweet?
Exactly so, and as Constance says, 80% of the recruiters are using social media, and they're using it to do a soft background check. So what you say, what things you talk about, things you will use are held against you. So you should say things that will promote your career or promote things that are positive in the light. Be careful of things you do, because stuff you probably do 5-6 years ago, they never go away on social media.
My goodness, they never go away. They stay there. Now let's turn to Constance, because Constance, Constance does this for living. And actually, because I don't want to go very far, because I want to be able to talk to our sponsors, because we are almost on the half-hour mark. Because the next thing, the Facebook, the LinkedIn, we're gonna be talking about it. So let's hear from our sponsors. Go.
That's good, Dr. Jeff.
How you like me now? Yeah,
Great.
when Constance approves it, that's okay. So he can tell this person I fear the most. He can now give a good feedback. He's very tough on me. Wow. Now let's go back. Welcome back to those who are joining us right now. This is Transition Point with Dr. Jeff. As you know, we are here every Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m. If you have any questions, or you're just listening carefully and you just want to absorb it all, we have in our studios Constance Moonzwe, healthcare staffing and recruiting of professional. She's from Los Angeles, representing 50 states in recruitment. And we have Jason, a software engineer. Someone we are talking on big issues on particularly on the impact of social media in your career, because sure, there is an impact of social media in your career. Now, I had spoken to Mr. Jason, and he spoke to us about Twitter and what you should be doing. For 140 characters, you just create an account, and it looks like if you're not on social media, you can't stop it, you can't avoid it, because you got to be in it. It is a new way, it's a language, you got to be part of it. We are just learning the rules of the road. Now let's go to Constance again. Constance, welcome back to our show.
Thank you.
Yeah, the last part of the show. This we're going to be talking about. We got a lot of minutes because we want to take it to the oops this time.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about the Facebook.
Yes.
Tell us, what are some of the things you have observed in Facebook? And sometimes you are like, I have a good character, I have a good candidate here, but I got a problem. What do you think about the Facebook? What are some of the things you have seen good and bad? What should we do with Facebook?
Okay, so Dr. Jeff, I just want to share two stories, and these are real events that have happened during the course of my career as it relates to Facebook. So at one of our client locations, a registered nurse was working during her shift in the ER, and she called off. She was supposed to work the next day, and she called off saying that she couldn't come in because she was sick. Well, about 2 hours later, she was taking pictures of herself at the beach. And she posted these pictures on Facebook. Well, during the course of the shift, one of her friends was
I can't help laughing. You gotta hold me. Oh, I'm just listening to keep going, but I can't help myself.
And so one of her friends was looking, and everything is on your phone. And so she was looking at her phone and saw her pictures of her friend or her co-worker at the beach. And so she went to the hiring manager and said, hey, listen, she called off sick, we're short-staffed, and here she is at the beach. Well, she lost her job.
My goodness, did you hear that? She lost her job.
Lost
This
her
is
job.
real. This happens in the real. You know, sometimes, and I've spoken this in classrooms when as a professor, I give stories. Sometimes you think professors are just giving stories. I decided to bring people who can tell it to you for real. She has seen it. She does it. When she says 80%, she knows. She works with other recruiters, and she knows exactly what's happening. So, first of all, you got to be careful. She's telling us you got to be careful because social media, I said it's got to be on the media when it is hot. She went to the beach. She was supposed to be working, and there she lost her job. So are there some of, before we go to the other side, Constance, are there some good things you have seen from Facebook? Are there some ways we can use Facebook positively?
Yes, I mean, think of Facebook as your virtual resume. And so when you think about any social media pages, think of them as your virtual resume that can either boost your career or it can hurt your career. A couple of things about Facebook real quick that you really want to be mindful. It's not necessarily who you're following, but who's following you. So number one, go through the list of friends that you have on your Facebook account. If you have friends who post inappropriate language or the content is overly political, you want to unfriend them especially during the season in which you're looking for a job. So employers are not looking only at what you post, but they're also looking at your association. Remember, it is said that you're more like the 10 people closest to you. So the content you allow to show on your Facebook page is actually a representation of who you are.
My goodness, did you hear that? You are almost like the 10 people closest to you. And because Facebook is social media and you have people who are following you, it is even sometimes not even about you posting bad stuff. It is also about those around you who are posting bad stuff. That, I think, it is very to the inner core of what we are trying to talk about. So you have to watch. She's just said that you have to watch the people who are following you. You have to monitor what they are doing. If they are trying to do something that you do not approve, what are you supposed to do, Constance?
You know, it's one of those things that it's business and not personal. I mean, so a couple of things. You either want to encourage them not to tag you, and actually the best way to do it is go to your privacy settings. So on Facebook, you can go to your privacy settings and you can restrict how people tag you, how often they tag you. You can restrict what posts get shared on your Facebook. So I would start with your privacy settings and make sure that you have those privacy settings that protect you the most. Another thing to be mindful as it relates to social media is that do not accept friends that you don't have some sort of connection with, 1 degree or 2 degrees, because oftentimes what we've seen with some hiring managers is that they will send you a friend request on Facebook to have full access to your profile versus what you can see on the public domain. And another thing that is super important when it comes to Facebook, just like all social media pages, your name, the name that you choose as your username has to be classy. It cannot be something like, Sexy Jean or something like that. So make sure that the names that you're using as your usernames on all these social media profiles are classy, just like your email address should be.
We love Constance here at WIL 1450 at Dr. Jeff's, transition point. Because, oh my goodness, she's sounding like Twitter. Just on saying 140 characters and you are talking substance in a very short time. She has made so much sense, and I can see even myself learning. I can see my technical staff learning. They are just telling me, yes, Constance, we don't know what we're going to do with you. But Constance has said something very important. You start with privacy settings, and you need to make sure that you restrict what happens to you in those. And she said earlier on that, social media account is like your virtual resume. And today they have a lot of access to it. It's really sending a resume, and an application is just kind of asking, can you check me up? And then you need to be able to say, be careful who you tag or who tags you. And you want to be able to know that, and this was new to me, a lot of, you're teaching me, I don't know, you're trying to take over my show. What are you trying to do, Miss Constance? That an HR who is interested in you can send you just a request so that they can be able to get into your social media. You have to make sure that you check up who is sending you the request. Sometimes they may be blank, and you're like, who is this sending me this? They can even have friends, but they are human resources as well. So you just have to keep it clean out there, because this thing can come back bouncing on you, and the next job can actually be really what you just determined. Now, let me move on, and I'm on trail for Constance here, because Constance was to address these two items. LinkedIn, let's move on to LinkedIn. Constance, LinkedIn, this is a huge network, and a lot of people are using it. Tell us, just introduce to us what LinkedIn is all about, and some of the things before we circle up on how we can revamp the rest of the. I'm going to ask a histogram question on to Mr. Jason, but tell us, just introduce us to LinkedIn and how we can use it positively and how it can impact your career.
I mean, absolutely. LinkedIn is so critical. There are a few things that I want to touch on when it comes to LinkedIn. First of all, LinkedIn is a professional network. It's a professional network of individuals coming together and networking. It's it's really the best form in which you should showcase your skills. Now, just a few points. The first thing to keep in mind is that LinkedIn has to mirror your resume. Oftentimes what happens is that you send in your resume to the hiring manager, and your LinkedIn profile says something completely different.
Oh my goodness, I had to interject there. That is huge.
Yes.
That is huge. I think that makes a lot of sense. You go talking one way in social media, and your LinkedIn, you think it says something different. I think that is huge.
Yes.
My students, those who are listening now, they need to hear that, because I'm always hearing people talking about careers. They want to know where the jobs are. You make sure the LinkedIn, keep on LinkedIn. I want to hear some more on the LinkedIn.
And so a couple of things with LinkedIn. Key number one is there's several factors. If you're looking for a job, LinkedIn actually represents the best job search technique from a couple of vantage points. Before your interview is scheduled, you want to look up your hiring manager on LinkedIn.
Oh.
And you want to look up everybody who works for that organization that you're getting ready to interview on LinkedIn. It gives you a lot of key information. It gives you knowledge of their backgrounds, their educational background. It gives you what previous or your predecessors have done for the role that you're looking for. So doing your own research using LinkedIn is critical prior to your job interview.
My goodness, Constance, I think we need to keep you in East Coast so that we can bring you to the studio every other time. This is really important to me, and I always just want to make sure that my student, all my listeners, students, professors from in Washington DC area. I mean, we want to be able to bring skills that, like I say, when I introduce, I bring skills that leave that get you to the next level, bring you to the next steps, and you can be able to achieve what you're looking for. We reduce the clutter. I am serious when I say we reduce the clutter and clear the noise in your life. Living success is a clear target, because you may have the qualifications, but you may be making these small mistakes which become noise, and you get eliminated for very small reasons. You know why? Because there are many people as qualified as you are, and if you have little noise, people may just eliminate you for that, while you are the most good candidate for it. Just hold on that thought. Thank you so very much, Constance. I'm getting excited. I know this is happening, and I can't believe this is one of the most powerful interviews I have done recently. For those who are joining us now, this is Transition Point. I'm Dr. Jeff, the host. If you want to know more about your host, you know where to go. drjeffspeaking.com, drjeffspeaking.com, and you can go to the radio tab. You can be able to see everything. I have addressed a lot of things, from student success to how to succeed at work, how to succeed in politics, as a matter of fact, in my 2 books. And you can pick up a copy, because I have told you before, when you pick up one of my copies, in my drjeffspeaking.com website. You're not just trying to give me some extra revenue. You keep this show going. This is why partly how I keep this show and produce it and make sure that it is on his wheels all the time. So you are not just buying a book that will benefit you, or 2 books. One of them is called Succeeding in the Face of Challenge, making every action count. The other one is timing, engaging when it matters the most, doing things the right time, the right way, in the right place, which is almost part of what we are talking about right here. And I encourage you, go there, leave me a note. You tell us how we are doing on WOL. Mr. Jason, I'm training my guns to you right now. I want to know a little bit about histogram. What is it? What does it do? Are there other things related to histogram? Is it called a Flipboard? These things, I'm getting too many. And, tell me, what is histogram? It's the next big thing.
But before I even talk about Instagram, just to align myself to what Constance says about LinkedIn, my last job, the recruiter found me on LinkedIn. I've never heard of that company before. I've never done I didn't check for a job with them. They found me and called me and asked me, hey, are you interested in a role? And I'm working at that company right now.
My goodness, a powerhouse. First of all, you impress me just directly because people go after you. And I've always, when I was in classroom, I always told my students that you want to make sure that you're so valuable that people will go after you. And you know what? LinkedIn, they found him in LinkedIn. Go for the Instagram.
So Instagram is one of those social media, we talk about posting pictures. And as Constance talked about being on the beach while you should be at work, be careful of the things you post. And this is where you share yourself to the world. And you're sharing yourself, you're sharing the persons around you, and you're following people. You're taking pictures, be careful of your surrounding, what's in your background.
So does Instagram, why is it different from Facebook and LinkedIn and Twitter? What is these things are established for something. What is important with Instagram? Should people use it?
Yes, people should use all these social media networks to be out there. This is the virtual connection, and with Twitter you're tweeting, you're making comments. With Facebook you're putting more stuff about your profile, your virtual resume, as Constance says. And with LinkedIn, this is your total professional side where somebody will go and look at your job history and all that. And Instagram, this is where you're saying, hey, I was in Las Vegas last week, or I was in Atlanta, and you're showing where you have been, places you have been. People follow these things, and it's good. And if you can captivate your audience and or even your recruiters to see that, hey, I've been at this place, they look at to see the things you have been a part of, the things that you're doing. If you're involved in charity, if you give back, these things count, and they weigh a lot out there for you.
You have heard it from the horse's mouth, because we have said the social media, you can use it possibly to promote yourself, or you can destroy yourself, just blow yourself up in the career, and those are very important. I wanna turn this thing around, because we have so many things. I can talk to these professionals forever, and I want to talk about important things that we need to be able to do today, and we leave our listeners with important information. So recruitment. Constance, the CEO of what is the name of your company again?
ITH Staffing.
ITH Staffing. So tell us on the ITH Staffing, what kind of jobs you told us actually what kind of jobs you recruit. How can my listeners tonight be able to access those jobs, and how do they start, and how do they prepare such that they are noticed by this 17-year experienced professional who is looking for good people and goes to LinkedIn, goes to Facebook? What are some of the jobs? Where can they find them as they prepare to clean up their social media? Because then I know you'll find them. So go, tell us how you give us those jobs.
The best place to get our jobs, we have a listing of most of our jobs on our website, which is www.ithstaffing.com. But I want to encourage you to call and talk to one of our exceptional recruiters, because we have thousands of jobs. And so not all our jobs are...
Thousands of jobs! My goodness, go!
Yes. And so not all our jobs are on the website. So I want to encourage you to just give us a call at 909-222-4044. Speak to one of our exceptional recruiters and let them know what opportunities that you're looking for, and they will go to work on your behalf. And remember, one of the things I just wanted to touch base is that recruiters place about 66% of all jobs out there. So your best chance of landing your next dream job is to work with a recruiting firm.
My goodness, you heard it. First of all, you can go and check them out at ithstaffing.com. You know, I've been there, I've seen that website for a long time, I've used it for my students very successfully, and they are very reliable. In fact, they have come to train when I was a university campus dean at various campuses. But also, the best way to get in touch, because I want you to get your next job. She has said about only maybe 6% of the jobs are really put out there, but the rest are just floating, and everybody is they are known with the staffing agencies and the recruiters. They are looking for the right candidate, because sometimes the job may attract too many people, and then it increases their work. So instead of actually just receiving humongous amount of people, they go carefully look after Jason on LinkedIn. They find Jason, they go after Jason, and Jason gets recruited. It sounds like a soccer ball. I know Jamaicans love that.
Yes.
And that's how it was taken, up to the goal. They looked after you. So this is very important. That was really good advice. So ladies and gentlemen, listen. Take this number down. 909. It's a California number. 909 222. Again, 222-4044. Let me repeat. 909-222-4044. If you call that number, they are able to talk to you and find out the best place to start. Because you may be starting the wrong place. By the time you run around the circles, you are not getting the job that you want, or you have spent a number of months looking for it, but they could have directed it to you just immediately. So that is very important. I told you, if you come to this program, this is transition point, and you come and get your goodies and you leave with the goodies. We don't just give you theories. We don't just tell you stories. We link theories with practice. We are professionals here. Again, ladies and gentlemen, those who are joining us now, this is Transition Point with Dr. Jeff, the WOL 1450, every Saturday, 1 to 2 p.m. Now, we're going to talk about something else. Exactly, we want to know what Constance and Jason are doing in East Coast. There is some trip you came on. So tell us, what you're doing here. What are you doing in our neighborhood, Constance?
You know, one of the
This
most
is our stamping grounds.
You know, one of the most incredible things about ITH staffing is that we are not only transforming and empowering lives through jobs, is that we also believe in giving back to causes that we believe in, and doing so in a very aggressive and meaningful way. So what brings us to Washington, D.C. today is that we are, ITH Charities is the charitable arm of ITH Staffing, and we're here to talk about Malawi in particular, and to really bring help to the children of Malawi. And we're partnered up with the Muzuzu University, and we are here to raise awareness, raise funds to treat over 3,000 kids for glaucoma and eye disease.
My goodness, that is very heart-touching. That not only ITH, which is the business part of this great young lady, Miss Constance Moonzwe, which she founded, and she is the president. We didn't say founded, because she is not the person to father herself. She founded that company. It has been existing for 17 years. And she is definitely big, and I'm very, very proud, from Zambia. And they are involved in community, giving back to the community. Those who are my students, Business 475. This is what's happening in this studio right now. Giving back to the community responsibility. They go after those people who are disadvantaged, particularly in Malawi with Muzuzu University, to treat glaucoma. It's the loss of sight. And I can tell you, I would like, for full disclosure, ladies and gentlemen, I am also a board member
Yes.
of that organization. It's a big organization. I was honored to be included in the board functions. And instead of saying they, why don't I say we? Because I will be talking about this in future. So if you hear about this, you'll be knowing that I'm part of it, and it's an organization I approve, I endorse, because they are doing the right thing. They have given recently, in about 2-3 months, they were in Kenya. They gave out about 800, they did examinations for over 800 young kids in Mombasa. And this is real. I've seen it. We have been involved in this for a long time. So there's a reason why I brought Constance in this show, because she is making a real difference, and we want to thank her very much. Now, tonight you have a big event in Washington, D.C.
Yes.
In fact, for the very reason, because we want to put the people who are around Washington, D.C. to go in there, direct in there, drop by. We don't mind what, gets, what fundraising we can get from you, but we'd like to know where are you going, and what are you exactly doing in Washington, D.C. for this organization?
Okay, so tonight at 5 p.m. we're going to be at the Golden Bull Grand Cafe.
Golden Bull Grand Cafe. Tell us the address.
And the address is 7 Dalmar Street.
7 Dalmar Street,
Dallamar Street. And just to recap, so the focus of tonight is to really shine a spotlight on Malawi. Malawi is arguably one of the poorest nations or countries in the world, period. And so we feel privileged to be able to not only work with the Ministries of Health, but Mzuzu University to really make a transformational change. We have some noteworthy guest speakers who are going to be in our midst tonight, current and former ambassadors for both Malawi and Zambia, and a bunch of other very important keynotes who are going to be here to collectively share and discuss our vision for Malawi and how we can impact the children for the next generation.
My goodness, a healthy group or healthy youth means a future that is healthy. And because when you deal with youth community, you are dealing with futures of nations. Now, I am going to ask Jason and Constance to say thank you or say something before we get out of here. So go, Jason.
So thanks first of all, Dr. Jeff, for having me on your show. And in addition to me being a software engineer, and I'm here to support the ITH charities at this event today. And I myself is a product of a good hard work, and I'm big on career advancement. So I have an organization called Career Crossroads, and it is careercrossrds.com. This is where we help persons to grow their career to the next level, help you to promote yourself, help you to stage you for the next interview, coach you on how to represent yourself, and how to fix your LinkedIn, your social media appearance. And this is called, check us out, careercrossroadsrds.com, and we are here to coach you and to help you to be a better person.
Perfect, careercrossroads.com. Go, Constance.
The one of just like, I guess my tip of the day is clean up your resume. Make sure that your resume looks professional. Make sure that it aligns with your LinkedIn pages. Clean up your social media pages, Twitter, Facebook, and get ready to land that wonderful opportunity.